Hi, and welcome to episode 10 of 12 of What is Wrong with My CV, because one size does not fit all. I'm Julie Grimes of Jaguar White Recruitment.
And I'm Jaqui Winston from New CV. With 45 years experience between us, we're both passionate about providing valuable advice to help you build a powerful CV that gets you noticed.
And today, we're going to be talking about education and qualifications,
what to include and why,
and where to put them on your CV.
So, your record of education and qualifications needs to include your formal education at the highest level you have. So if that's GCSEs, then that's the information you focus on, giving subjects and grades, unless they were taken ages ago. In that case, you wouldn't dwell on the minutiae of the grades and the subjects. You would say that you've got X number of GCSEs, grades A to D as appropriate. The one exception to that is saying that English and maths are often specifically required, so it's worth mentioning these separately with the grades.
In addition, if you have a degree, then our advice is that you state the subject, grade, name of university and the date that you studied it. You may also choose to note your A-levels or college courses if these are relevant. Sometimes the modules of a course are also important to mention if it is being a vocational degree leading into a specific industry. It's really interesting to have that on your CV, and it will highlight any roles that you're going for that's specific. So think about what the reader is looking for and the role that you're applying for.
And remembering the theme of this whole series is one size does not fit all, then it is worth noticing that if you have had 30 years experience and or a professional qualification, then your GCSEs really are irrelevant. So don't fill your CV with information about GCSEs or even O-levels you did years and years ago, because what you've done since is far more interesting to the hiring manager. The other element of learning that you really must include is training and industry professional qualifications, CPD, by which I mean continuous professional development, and relevant self-directed learning. And this can include anything like leadership, sales, supervising things, GDPR and data protection, IT, the list goes on and on, but you get the idea that it's not just about those formal qualifications, it's all that learning that makes you into a whole person and somebody that somebody wants to meet.
Just a point in addition to that, as an experienced recruiter, I do know that some people embellish or even fabricate their qualifications on their CVs to try and impress the reader. Don't do this. Companies do ask for proof. I can absolutely vouch for this, so don't go there. And sometimes it's worth mentioning that some people don't have formal qualifications, and it makes them be led to feel more sort of inadequate when applying for roles and asking for help. Now, there is no reason why an experienced person with a great track record of success can't fit a role. So please don't be put off if you don't have that relevant qualification. You may see QBE, qualified by experience, on roles, and talk to recruiters about this. Talk about your experience and your skills. It's not just about the qualification. So it's often down to the hiring manager to read the CV and ask those further questions, but just go for it and apply and sell yourself for the skills you do have.
Okay, it's also worth mentioning that a long list of irrelevant qualifications or courses is an absolute waste of space. For example, if you initially trained as a beauty therapist and took on loads of qualifications at the time, but later you've retrained in, say, finance or something like that, it's totally irrelevant to include all the beauty training on that CV. And it's a bit off-putting for the reader because they're wondering why you're telling them this. It may seem obvious when put like this, but it's worth considering what your CV is going to, what on your CV is going to make the reader decide that you are the person that they want to meet, and not muddying the water with information that is going to confuse them.
Absolutely right, Jack. And I think it would shorten your CV to leave those out if you've actually changed direction anyway and you want to highlight those other skills that you have. So finally, we need to talk about where to put education on the education section on your CV. So as mentioned in episode 4, the rule of thumb from us is to put them after your experience or career section. Now, this would normally be on page 2, unless you're a newly qualified person with no or little experience, in which case they need to appear under the key section, the key skills section before any experience, normally on page 1.
Okay, so in summary, don't feel that you need to have a long list of qualifications. You need to be authentic and keep them relevant, so don't be tempted to make them up. Do include formal education, CPD, training and online courses, because they all count. And your education needs to appear where it's most relevant on your CV. So unless you're a newly qualified youngster with very little experience, put them after your career section.
So that's it for this episode. Thank you for watching. Next time, we're going to be talking about why you should include interests and hobbies and other achievements. Very important to have on your CV. These will help you to look good and also let people know a little bit more about your personality and what the reader might be interested in.
So we hope you found this information interesting. And we'll see you next time on One Size Does Not Fit All. Bye.
Thanks for watching. Bye.